Hi, I'll be doing Evidences for God No. 3, which concerns historical records. I'll start off by saying, have you heard of or heard about Julius Caesar? Yes? Well, can you prove he physically existed? Can you dig up his body and use DNA evidence? And can you offer this proof right here, right now? Assuming that you believe Julius Caesar existed, you could offer up historical records of various sources. And this could be supplemented by the components of the Roman Empire, of which Julius Caesar at one time was an emperor. So we have historical records, cultural records, and tradition. Tradition compromising of language, Latin, mathematical, alphabetical, architectural, and engineering factors. Now, atheists will attest to the existence of Julius Caesar through these things, and indeed they will attest to the existence of other historical figures, despite the fact they have never personally encountered them through their physical senses. There are no photos or video. There are no recordings of their voice. They have never touched, smelled, or tasted these figures and are just going by what others have written about them. So there's no eyewitnesses who can personally attest to seeing these people. There is no video of George Washington. There is no voice recording of William Shakespeare. At best, all they can offer is art pictures, as well as stories, legends, and written records about them, which cannot be 100% independently and accurately verified without bias at any given time. And today, with the forgeries, propaganda, and so on, you can say it can't be verified accurately at any given time. And yet, atheists will plainly state that the likes of Jesus Christ, Moses, and even Muhammad never existed. Didn't exist as far as they're concerned. They will say the same about the saints, and indeed every and any religious figure. Certainly in the pre-industrial revolution era. The atheists are demanding higher, if not impossible, standards of evidence for religious figures than they do for secular ones. And unfortunately, this is being accepted. As we remember from our younger days in school, we can see the standard of education has gone down. It has. The result of which are the cacistocracies, worthwhile looking up what that means and what it's about, that the earth has become engulfed by everywhere. History is being constantly rewritten, as well as words and terms being constantly and consistently redefined. We now live, or I should say exist, in a post-truth world. What was blatant lies last week is true today. Because words are being redefined constantly. The fact of the matter is that history has been lived through by survivors, but has been written by the winners. If we lose to theistic Satanism, and by default atheism and apostasy, what will be written about us? Would we even be worthy of a mention? Just pretend it never exists, which is being done to Christianity today. Every culture and racial grouping has a mention of God at its core. It is only man-made and indeed Satan-made ideology that has sought to erase that completely. There are plenty of texts that write about the life and evidences for Jesus Christ. Josephus is a common one, which is often referenced, certainly on the internet. But I tell you with the utmost sincerity, you should download these texts and if possible print them out. Yeah, you should download them. Save them to USBs and the like. Websites that expound the orders and wisdom from God. The prophets and the saints are subject to no platforming lawfare. And it is lawfare when the constant court cases to try and shut you down. A typical atheist brain-dead bellyache usually goes along these lines. You said that some guy called Jesus existed. Well, does he have a Facebook page? Nah. Give me his number and I'll text him on his iPhone. This Jesus guy you've probably made up. Like God, because of your mental illness, you're probably cisgendered. Have you got a spare soil latte? This is what we're up against now. And with cacistocracies and how the stupid are being promoted throughout our governments, throughout our societies, people like this will seek to make belief in the Lord Jesus Christ extinct. They are dedicated to this. You have people that have this filthy, live for the moment mindset, and it has to be opposed. Simple as that.